Hi, everybody. This is David Nevins for City Biz List. Welcome to our program. And our guest today is Chris Ripley, the CEO of Sinclair Broadcast Group. And Chris is speaking to us from his hotel in Colorado, where he is attending the baseball meetings. Chris, welcome to our program.
Thank you, David.
Chris, I don't know, I didn't see your name, so I'm assuming you did not participate in the home run hitting contest last night.
No, you're right. That's not quite my specialty, but I tell you, it was quite entertaining to see. I think Alonso was the victor at the end of the day, and he put on quite a show.
I'll bet it was, but my understanding is, despite your lack of participation in that event, congratulations are indeed in order as the result of Sinclair Broadcast Group recently having been named to the Fortune 500 list of America's largest corporations. Welcome to that. And what does that say about the growth at Sinclair?
Thanks, David. It's a big milestone for the company, and we couldn't be prouder to be one of three companies here in Baltimore to be on the Fortune 500 list. And for Sinclair, it's all about informing, protecting, and entertaining the communities that we serve and giving them content that matters. And the way we do that is with local news and local sports. And that's been our strategy over the last 5-6 years, accumulating up to what we're at 186 stations over 87 markets, with many of those providing top local news in their markets. And we're up to 23 RSNs, over half of all the local sports for baseball, basketball, and hockey across the country. And for many communities, that is the content that matters the most to them.
Chris, your pivot into sports has been transforming for the company. And I understand you're one of the largest, if not the largest, provider of live sports in the nation.
We are, David. And that really started about 6 years ago with the start of American Sports Network, which is now called Stadium, which then led to the acquisition of Tennis Channel, and then the launch of Marquee Network in Chicago with the Cubs, and then on to 21 RSNs, the Fox Sports regionals that we bought from the Disney Fox merger, and also a partnership with the Yankees on the Yes Network. And we popped our head up and realized that we were the largest sports provider in the country, with about 5,000 live events a year, and over half of all the MLB, NBA, and NHL local sports content across the country. So it's been quite a transformation, and the durability of the content on the sports side is tremendous. Even through the pandemic, we saw it continue to attract very large audiences in live viewing, which is a rarity nowadays with so many streaming and on-demand options.
Oh, that's great, Chris. I've heard you in previous conversations talk about the next step of what's called gamification and interactive viewing. And of course, you also have a new partnership with the Bally's Corporation. Could you talk about those things for our viewers as well?
We're very excited about our Bally's partnership. In fact, so much so we renamed all of our sports networks Bally Sports from Fox Sports. And it's been going great. People love the new branding on the network. It gave a new, fresh experience to those channels. So the rebranding's gone amazingly well. But Bally's isn't just about a marketing partnership. It's about creating the game within the game. And we're working on interactive and personalized experiences for the younger generation who is really interested in having a lean forward interactive experience and having gamification associated with the games itself. So we ultimately envision a world where you can watch your favorite sports team and play games on top of the same screen experience that will essentially make watching games like playing video games.
I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that day, which is, I think, right around the corner. Chris, despite the pivot into sports, I know your company remains dedicated to what had been its bread and butter, local news programming. And if I'm not mistaken, you may do more of that than anyone in the country too. Could you talk a little bit about your commitment to covering local news on your almost 200 TV stations around the nation?
Well, as I said in the beginning of the interview, at the core of Sinclair is informing, protecting, and entertaining the communities that we serve. And we do that by giving them content that matters, like local sports, but we also do that through local news, which is a very, very important element to what Sinclair does, and it's very important to the community. In fact, even the younger generation relies on local television stations for local news more than they even rely on social media. People may not know that, but it actually is true, and that's because we are one of the few remaining sources of what's going on in your local community, as newspapers are really have had a hard time and really don't have the resources that they used to. And our strategy is to give people content about their local community that will make a difference. And we do that through spotlight groups across the country. We have about 25 spotlight groups that focus on issues within that specific community that matter the most. So here in Baltimore, we've been at it for over 4 years with Project Baltimore that focuses on the school system, which we all know is one of the major issues within Baltimore, preventing it from moving forward. And in Seattle, we've been there in that community. The Spotlight Group is focused on homelessness and drug use, which has really hurt the city over the last few years, and drawing attention to that, talking about what the issues are and what some of the potential solutions are, and creating a conversation within the community is a big part of what we do.
Chris, I've heard, and I think our viewers have heard the term next gen TV more and more frequently. And I just read where WBFF in Baltimore has started to broadcast in a new technology. So talk a little bit about next gen TV and some of the benefits that will bring to the consumer, because I think you also consider yourself to be a technology company as well, correct?
That's correct, David. Nowadays, if you're not a technology company, then you're probably not going to be in business. So we're very focused on transformation within all facets of what we do, and over-the-air broadcast is no exception. In fact, we have a big emphasis, as does the rest of the industry, on rolling out next-gen TV. It is coming here to Baltimore, as you noted, and by the end of the year, there should be a next-gen TV signal in over half the country. And what does that mean from a consumer perspective? Well, most importantly, it is a mobile-first standard, so you can actually receive video over the air, your favorite television stations plus other content while you're in motion. And that really is a key benefit, because the old standard, you had to be stationary. You could not be in motion. So TVs are being sold that can tie into this new next-gen standard, but mobile devices will also begin to be sold that can tie into that same over-the-air spectrum that provides all this great content. We'll also be able to provide more personalized content, so a sort of an app-based experience that you're used to getting over the internet through over-the-air, and that means better programming, more personalized ads, and additional subscription-based offerings on top of that. So it'll be much more modern app-based experience that people are used to having nowadays with streaming. And we'll have a much bigger pipe to offer much more content to the consumer on this platform. So it's going to be quite revolutionary in terms of what you associate with over-the-air television.
Well, I think we very much all look forward to that. Hey, Chris, just before I let you go, I know that you and your colleagues at Sinclair Broadcast Group are very proud of the role that you play in the community, not just in terms of the services that you provide, but in terms of being a good corporate citizen, philanthropy, charity, and the like. So lastly, if you don't mind, could you talk a little bit about that?
Of course. Yeah, it is a big part of Sinclair. So as I mentioned, protecting, informing, entertaining the communities that we serve also involves being involved in the communities that we serve. And we're involved in a very big way, whether it comes from disaster relief, food banks, blood drives, public service announcements, you name it. All of our stations are deeply ingrained into the community. In fact, last year we raised more than $37 million for various causes in the communities that we serve. We collected over 9 million pounds of food, provided 2 million meals, and gathered over 320,000 toys, backpacks, coats, and other school supplies. So just a huge effort across the board from all of the Sinclair employees in helping their community through various challenges. And that is something that we're very, very proud of.
That's wonderful, Chris. Thank you for being with us. And if you don't mind pardoning the pun, I know you're probably a little disappointed you didn't have a chance to swing for the fences last night during the home run derby, but it sounds like you've hit quite the grand slam on behalf of Sinclair, and all of us here in Baltimore and around the country, frankly, really look forward to seeing your growth and your success continue.
Great. Thank you, David.
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of City BizList, this has been David Nevins. Enjoy the day, and thank you for watching.